Hey there, fellow economic adventurers! Welcome to another thrilling episode where we decode the mysteries of the economy. Ever feel like the economy is a roller coaster? One moment you're up, the next you're plummeting down. Buckle up, because today we're tackling two of its most thrilling drops: recession and inflation. First up, recession. Imagine the economy as a car, a well-oiled machine that keeps us moving forward. When that car sputters and stalls, that's a recession. It's like your car breaking down. Now picture inflation as a mischievous gremlin in the grocery store. This gremlin sneaks around slapping higher prices on everything. Suddenly your favorite cereal costs twice as much. Your dollar buys you less, and your wallet feels emptier faster. Today, we're diving into the economic abyss to answer a question. Could a recession be less damaging than inflation? Let's find out. So why is everyone suddenly whispering about a recession in 2025? Well, remember that economic car we talked about? Right now, it's running a little hot. Several factors are pushing us towards a potential recession. Interest rates are rising, making it more expensive to borrow money. Global conflicts and supply chain issues are messing with prices. And let's not forget the after effects of the pandemic hangover. Think of it like this. Imagine throwing a bunch of heavy stuff into a washing machine at once. It might keep spinning for a bit, but eventually, something's gotta give. That give could be a recession. Yes, you read that right. Recessions, while generally seen as negative, can have some unexpected benefits. Recessions can act as a reset button for the economy. They tend to cool down inflation, which can be a relief for many. A recession can bring prices back to more manageable levels. Secondly, businesses become more efficient, rethinking strategies and cutting costs. Finally, recessions lead to long-term changes in consumer behavior, making people more mindful of their spending. Alright, enough about recessions. Let's dive into something that's hitting even closer to home. Let's talk about inflation, the economic equivalent of having your pants spontaneously combust in public. It's not just a number on a chart, it's a real, tangible issue. It's uncomfortable, embarrassing, and makes everyone around you nervous. The stress it brings can be overwhelming. Inflation erodes our purchasing power, making it harder to stretch our dollars. Remember that $20 that used to buy a week's worth of groceries? Those were the good old days. Thanks to inflation, it might only buy you a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter now, and not even the fancy kind. It's a harsh reality check. High inflation can also lead to social unrest. When prices soar, tensions rise. When people feel like they can't afford basic necessities, they tend to get a little grumpy. It's a natural reaction to financial strain. And by grumpy, we mean potentially taking to the streets with pitchforks and torches kind of grumpy. It's a scenario we all want to avoid. So here's the million-dollar question, which, thanks to inflation, might only be worth about $500 now. Is a recession actually preferable to runaway inflation? It's a tough call, like choosing between stubbing your toe or getting a paper cut between your fingers. Both are painful in their own special way. Recessions hurt in the short term. People lose jobs, businesses struggle, and the economy shrinks. But they tend to be relatively short-lived, and the pain eventually subsides. Inflation, on the other hand, can linger like a bad smell, eroding our purchasing power and creating economic uncertainty for years. In the battle of the economic nightmares, a recession might just be the lesser of two evils. It's a painful but potentially necessary correction that can help tame inflation and set the stage for a healthier economy in the long run. Think of it like this. Sometimes you need to rip off the band-aid to let the wound heal properly. A recession might sting at first, but it could prevent the chronic pain of persistent inflation. Of course, nobody a recession, but if it helps us avoid the economic inferno of runaway inflation, it might be a price we're willing to pay.